Thank you. Member for Bruce.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. MPIs are my favourite thing, my second favourite thing actually after the Fed chamber, where good speeches go to die. But it is terrific actually to have a sensible topic for debate for once on the MPI. And it is important that Australia accelerates the transition away from fossil fuels and electrifying people's houses with cheaper renewable energy. It is so important. It's obvious that it's the teals and the crossbench bringing this debate, not the opposition, because it is a sensible topic for the parliament to spend an hour debating, because renewable energy will lead to lower pollution, lower emissions. It's the cheapest form of new energy, unlike Mr Nuclear Sheen over there. He's
Sorry, Member for Bruce. If you're going to refer to a member, you need to use that.
The member for Fairfax. He's not the suppository of all wisdom, to quote George Bush. But it is so important for Australia's economic future, and this is the bit that they don't get. Australia has the best renewable energy resources of any OECD country. We can reclaim the advantage in cheap, ubiquitous power that we had through the 1960s and 70s and onshore manufacturing and create tens of thousands of jobs, many of them in regional areas, if only this entire parliament, not just this side of the House and the people over there, but all of the parliament would embrace a renewable energy, a clean energy future. The crossbench and the teals get it. They get it on renewable energy. Even the Greens political party, I'll admit, so far get it. And rarely their actions in the parliament actually match their words, unlike, of course, affordable housing, where they say one thing in their electorate and then do another up here. When push comes to shove, the Greens political party always vote against affordable housing, but on renewable energy, they've done the right thing so far this term. But there's one group in parliament, of course, that doesn't get it, Deputy Speaker, and that's the opposition, the Liberals and the Nationals, who are stuck in the dark ages after the decade of delay and division and dysfunction. They're still arguing over whether climate change was real instead of seizing those opportunities: lower pollution, cheapest form of new power, jobs, 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 and even from a national security point of view. Every major military of every developed country has climate change risk near the top of their risk profile. You know, those geniuses over there that say they're serious about national security, if they were, they would be serious about action on climate change. They're two sides of the same coin. But words don't convince them, Deputy Speaker. Reason doesn't convince them. Evidence doesn't convince them. Let me put it in political terms which they may understand. The only reason that these fine women are sitting over here occupying these seats is because of the previous government's inaction on climate change. And I'd illustrate it. Remember Josh Frydenberg? Remember this other former future Prime Minister, Tim Wilson? We had Dave Sharma. Remember him?
Bruce.
He's a goner.
Member for Bruce, there is a fine distinction between legitimate visual aids to illustrate a point in a speech and the use of props that are for traumatic effect.
I've only got three left. I've got Celia Hammond and Trent Zimmerman, Jason Fleet. Actually, the new president of the New South Wales Liberal Party, he got beaten too, didn't he? Because of the former governments. I could table them. Could I seek leave to table the photos of the former future Prime Ministers?
Is leave granted? Is leave granted? You've got a question now.
Not only is leave not granted, but I point out, Deputy Speaker, he is defying your instruction, okay. Deputy Speaker.
I think I can think for myself, thank you, but leave's not granted, and I ask the member for Bruce to keep the photographs down.
They're there. I'll keep them. I'll send them to you. But words don't convince them. They don't even want to see the pictures. But the major reason that the member for Wentworth can bring this motion is because of a decade of inaction on climate change. Actually, maybe I misled the House. It's probably the second major reason. I'd say the member for Cook is the major reason, but certainly their inaction on climate change is the— let's never overstate our own part in these things. But look, 22 failed energy policies and they couldn't implement one of them. This government is acting. The number one criteria to get power prices down is certainty for new investment. That's what they failed for a decade to provide. We're rewiring the nation. We're fixing the grid to create the conditions for renewable energy to move around the country. Unlike, remember the geniuses over there in the snowy hydro, the new battery? except they forgot to fix the grid. It's like getting a new battery pack for your phone without the cable to plug into the network.
Member for Warringah.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And I rise to speak about